Hi everyone, happy Saturday. It's June 1st. I love Saturdays because I teach 2 classes and then I do my meditation teacher training with Lauren Roche and Camille Maureen, which I will link down below. Um, so I feel very present in this space, and so I wanted to kind of record this little video while it's top of mind. I had a conversation with one of our retreat yogis in the 10:30 a.m. class, and we were talking about the ebb and the flow of going on retreat, having this a really rich experience, like hugely transformative. You're almost like elated in the way that you feel after settling into your own nervous system, your own basic goodness, your own soul alignment, and then the interactions that you have as well, the way that people interact, the way that friendships form, the way you feel yourself kind of blossoming and opening into conversations differently. And from a creative standpoint, this is so beautiful to experience. This is like returning to your home, right? Returning home to who you always are, or who you always were. So there's this really, really powerful experience of just even observing that in yourself and observing how quickly you changed and how quickly you just felt at ease and more comfortable moving through the world. So then what happens is we go back to our lives and our day-to-day jobs, and maybe you're with a group of people or a team that you don't feel kind of super connected to, or maybe the nature of the work is starting to feel taxing where it didn't before. So I just want to nod to this kind of transition. So oftentimes in retreat, we spend the last morning talking about re-entering the world, because it really is kind of a re-entering. And it's really helpful to acknowledge and to spend time holding both it's almost like you're holding shadow and light at the same time. And we do this throughout yoga. I teach this. Shadow and light exist in the body. There is varying degrees of shadow and light. So your light, kind of euphoric version of yourself might be what you experienced in these times of deep reflection and deep renewal and rest. Your tending to shadow might be back in the real world, maybe choices you made that are no longer serving, maybe careers, maybe jobs that are kind of transitioning and no longer serving. But to hold both in your body at the same time is really important. And there's this conversation in the yoga meditation world about, of course it's beautiful just to be in meditation all the time. You're in your state all the time, but that's not actually realistic. We have to interact in this world. We have to put food on the table. We have to, further ourselves, better ourselves, take place in this human race. So while it may seem that the ideal or the goal is to be kind of in your own element and in your own energetic space, that is it's not realistic, and it's actually not healthy either. So if you learn all these topics and then you just kind of go into your own cave, you just go into your little cave and you're practicing, well, that is one version of spirituality. And many, many people do this. They start learning spirituality and then they kind of isolate themselves. They choose jobs where they feel more comfortable on their own. So they just kind of start to isolate themselves into their little meditation cave, which is what I call it. But what we have to consider is the integration piece. Integration is actually where the gold is. It's definitely infinitely harder, but integration into modern society, and you're still keeping these topics and you're kind of toggling between the nervous system state that you experienced and how to weave that into your current life, how to weave that into your job or any other structures that you have that are serving but maybe in transition. So sometimes that happens, right? Where we're in a job that was serving for us 3 or 5 years ago, and now you feel it transitioning out. But it's important not to just kind of spiritually, some people call it spiritual bypassing, but it's important not to just be like, okay, that's it. I'm going to go now and just meditate and cave for 10 years because that's not healthy either. So there's a beauty in acknowledging, holding space, and actually feeling gratitude in your heart and in your soul for the integration period, for the integration piece, because integration is where it's at. That's where all the movement, all the growth comes, when you learn and you kind of distill all these topics into your heart, and then you start to integrate them into your life. That is the reason that we are here. So I wanted to touch upon that integration piece, how important it is, and hopefully that's helpful as you kind of start to weave your way back into normal life. Ruffy's letting me know that she's integrating over at the window with another dog she's barking at out there. Nice job, Ruffy. Okay.